Alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulman Rahim here, mention the covenant, break our 7 seals. Well, brothers and sisters, we in it. I've been telling you about this war for 35 years. We in it. So, plenty to tell you about. Hang in there. See? Oh God, what's going on? Farrakhan has no idea what's going on. That's why he claims God told him to shut up. Yeah, that shit show today, right? Oh, the doctor's good. Really? They're stretching. They're going all out their way to try to find somebody to explain, try to clean up Farrakhan shit. You can't clean shit. You can't clean it. That's their mission, to clean shit, because he's shit. His whole program is shit. At the end of the whole thing, talking about, well, we got to start doing for self. Wait a minute, you 42 years late for that. And give the Nation of Islam, see what we do it. They've been giving you 42 years of what you've done. You've done it. You put it in Farrakhan's pocket. It is sick. And the good thing about it is, 60 days from now, you won't know about these clowns will be through. In 60 days, they'll be through. Hold on, right here. I got a regular set of seals. Hold on, but I got right there, sisters. Let's talk about sisters. Oh, there it is. Yeah. And sound issue. Anybody paid? I couldn't even watch it. I just recorded it and played some back later. I just couldn't. There's no way I was going to sit the 2 hours of that garbage. All the world's blowing up. And, oh, we come up. Make our community safe. Like saying, the movie's on fire. The movie theater's on fire. Make sure you clean up your seat. What? Clean up your seat. Make sure you clean up all the trash around your seat. What? What are you talking about? You stay in the place on where you're getting the hell out of here. You see how stupid this is? But see, he's doing a good job, though, Farrakhan. He's drawing, because anybody listen to that, they market themselves. They identify themselves as being fools and demons. They identify themselves as that. Because only fools and demons listen to that shit. There's no scripture that backs anything they say. I've been telling them I give $5,000. Anyone listening, if you can show me any scripture that back up that stuff they're saying, in the Bible or Quran, you can't find it because it's not there. Because they're on the same wavelength he's on, which is a shit storm. What happens is a shit storm when the clean water comes out. That's why I said Suleiman will come out, message will come with full of soap. Why do you need soap? Because it clears up some shit. But Farrakhan was doing a good job. He had to come with soap. Might come with a towel or wipe, but they clean, they're still wet. They clean though. No, you come with soap because something's got to be cleaned up. And Malachi tells you clearly there's 3 people there. There's the messenger, there's somebody that's cursed with a curse, and the messenger of the covenant. In Exodus, you have the same thing. You got Moses, you got Aaron, and then you got Joshua, the messenger of the covenant. And in both places, that second party is cursed. That's Aaron, Farrakhan. That just tells you clearly transition between Moses, that's the messenger, and the messenger of the covenant is Aaron, 40-some years of bullshit. And you can't go wrong with that. And you got that Wesley, you call him a doctor? That dumbass. It was on TV the other day. I couldn't watch the whole thing. To trying to, I mean, you know what a contortionist is? That's somebody that can stick his head up his ass. That's what they're able to do. I mean, they pull out Farrakhan's ass, stick it on their ass. Trying to show how God can be not flesh, but flesh. Not flesh, but trying to, because see, they come with this stuff, and you see, when they come with this stuff, you see, they use my data, my information, and they responded to it. They're in defense mode. And so I say something, and then all of a sudden, so you know, they're losing. Like this clown, I was telling my wife, they was talking about, doves follow doves. I'm paraphrasing, I'm exact animals, right? Dress, I'll dress. That's what I use the exact same analogy this week. How does robins know how to stick with robins? How do doves know to be doves? And they don't get me. And then they use the same type of analogy. Now, is that a coincidence? Okay. See, you have there's something they call muscle memory, and you also got let me put it this way, and I'm gonna move on because I'm not. Okay. Say I run into somebody. They tell me some stuff I haven't heard before. About whatever I heard, whatever they tell me about. Well, now, remember, that's a vector. It's affecting the way I think. Because the way I was thinking before I met that person, I'm thinking different, right? Maybe more like I was thinking, or less, but still gonna be different because it's a vector. I try to tell people everything's a vector. What's a vector? The energy, right, is motion, and that's force. Right? And everything is affected by everything. Everything is affecting all your thoughts from the time you come into existence. You're reacting to the environment you come in contact with. You don't have any freedom of will, freedom of thought. Your thought is your nature, your forces, your natural forces react to the force around you. That's you. The force around you greater, then you're going to be overcome. If you're greater, then you overcome the force around you. That's you. That's the bottom line. So, somebody says something to me. Okay, now that affected my thinking. It's going to affect it to some extent. I may like it, I may not like it, but it's going to affect it. Move on. So next time I talk to somebody else, I may not realize it, but that's still, that conversation I have with the other person is still, in fact, going to impact the way I talk to the other person. I may not even realize it. Because that's the way your thoughts is a resultant of all the forces that you come in contact with. There's no exception to that. Okay? So, if they watch my broadcast, they're affected by it. So when they start thinking of things, they don't realize it. They say, they use an analogy that I use that tells me, because it's no such thing as coincidence. I can tell how much they're paying attention to what I'm doing by when they react, what they say. You're going to get if you make it home and you get your mind back, that stuff will be very simple stuff when you get home. I'm saying it's just basic mathematics, but you don't study vectors, you don't study force, you don't study pressure, you don't study energy. I'm trying to show you how energy works. Energy isn't, that's it. So there's nothing other than energy. Energy and how to manage it, that's it. Energy is economics, and manage is the religion. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Yeah. See, right now, him, Silas, all these clowns, that's why they talk around, oh man, it's time of great trouble. But they tell us what to do about it. Nothing. Oh, we got to have a better community. That's sure they don't know. So they stand away from it. But they don't want to comment. But they have no idea it's going to turn out. They already got busted on Armageddon. Remember 3 years ago? Armageddon just started. And you see the Armageddon? So now they said God told him to shut up. Yeah, because he didn't know what he was talking about. So he said, shut, be quiet. God didn't tell him, because God spoke it to him. When God speaks to you, right, because he got a reasons God, because his vectors is more powerful than yours. You got the most powerful vector, thought vector. That's why he's the God. She's the God, whoever it may be. So when they speak to you, right, it's going to change you to some extent, either positive or negative. So when he finished speaking to you, if you mess around, your ass is blown up, you got cancer, hey, he didn't speak nice to you, buddy. He bust your ass. He cursed you because he can either curse you or bless you. So was Farrakhan blessed or was he cursed? Ask any man on the planet. No, don't put Farrakhan in the picture. Ask any man on the planet. If you go and get cancer and your ass get blown up and now you're pissing shit in the bag for the rest of your life, 55, ask was that a blessing or a curse? That's a trial. There ain't no trial. And you got trials like that. I don't know what I need it for. Unless he got some super transplant equipment. Ain't no trial. God curse his dumb lying ass. If women is out of heaven, he's in hell, ain't he? That's why he kissed on Father Flaker so damn much. That must be his husband. The way he's kissing on him. It's not a gay thing. That boy's sick. And I look at it and say, damn. But pigs don't know they're sick. Pigs love pigs. Like flies like these shit. So people with him, they like these shit. Don't bother them. If you with Farrakhan, you bet shit, that means you love eating and shit, eating and sucking on shit. That's what he's feeding you. There ain't no scripture backing that crap up. None. I say get $5,000 to give him a scripture to back up what he's saying. $5,000. It's been out there forever. He's a shit salesman. And they love it. Give me some more, man. Give me a double order. Give me a must work, man. They line up. Man, get out of the way, man. I'm here first. West and all of them. Man, hold on, man. Don't get in front of me. Man, I'm here first. My turn to get my head up his ass. I'm gonna suck on some shit today, man. That kind of shit. That's all it is. They tell them wrong. And bring your ass over here to come after me, because that's your next move. I'm waiting for you. That's your next move, because you're going down. You're in trouble over there. You got less than 60 days left. Guaranteed. But this is the time he goes down during this war. How long, much longer this war gonna last? Well, it's going really bad, ain't it? Let's move on, brothers and sisters. $5,000.
$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
There's brothers and sisters. Let me show you this right here, right quick. You see, I had a lot of things to do. It took some time, so I just did it. I just did it. I was going to show a lot. Just he was saying, I'm not going to waste my time doing it anymore, because he's already pretty much collected all his demons. So I'm not going to spend hours and hours going, because I just could not. I would have to go through the whole bullshit they did today. I listened about half an hour of it. That's it. So I refused to go, because there's a lot of stuff. I know a lot of stuff he's saying I could show as dumb this shit is. I'm going to show you one right now. Hold on a second. Now listen to this.
I repeat, nothing that God created that's ugly. Now we can be ugly acting. When you connect to God, you
My brothers and sisters, man.
And I repeat, nothing that God created that's ugly. Now we can be ugly acting. But when you connect to God, you find beauty in yourself. Because as Brother Ishmael said, you are directly linked from your DNA to the very Creator himself. You are in the family of God. You should find beauty just in that statement alone. But how do I transform? I feel so bad about myself, I don't believe I can change. I know y'all saying,
Okay, brothers and sisters. You know, I'm not going into detail about these brothers and sisters, but I explain to you. And if you understand what Elijah Muhammad said, those scriptures, they reveal for periods of time. And then they get new scripture. If they got one scripture, eternal scripture, then why do they keep revealing this information over a 25,000 year period? Because you get seasons change, so you can't use the same information for winter and spring. You have a different type of act, the way you act, the way you do things. See? So they keep telling us 15-year-old, see, back 1,500 years ago, their level of knowledge was on a certain level. Like you speak to a child, you can't go to a child and try to explain to them the reproductive process at 3 years old. They wouldn't understand what you're talking about. You got to explain to them in a very childish way. You know? So this nigga, he said, nothing God made is ugly. What's that right there? God made all in the womb, didn't he? See, this is the bullshit these clowns keep saying. That's why they're going to be shut down so hard. Because this stuff is easy to dispose of. God made all in the womb. So what is that? Did he make that? He made all this. Did he make that? Is that ugly? That's beautiful. They connected. Is that beautiful? Did he make a mistake? He said nothing. He said he made everything he made was perfect. Is that perfect? Perfect what? Oh, he's in a room with you. That's the other part. I was going to play that, but I'm trying to find what he's talking about. God was in a room with you. You didn't have no drugs in the room. You had no cigarette in the room. I wasn't in no fucking room with you, not me or anybody else. They didn't know about DNA back there. They have microscopes. Now they got microscopes. They actually make test tube babies. They take the sperm and egg, mix it together, and watch it grow. And they don't see nobody way back up and say, hey, bro, I got it. Hey, man, don't worry, I got this. So if you want to still put some spooky shit on there, go on. Be my guest. Because all you do is identify yourself so each of us identify you. Because see, the point is that it's going to be easy. See, Farrakhan make my job so much easier. See? Because I ain't got to go out and try to pull peanuts out of shit. Because he's doing it. He's putting shit over this side and the peanut on this side. Now come over here, I say, oh, shit's over there. Oh, shit's over there. And so we're going to just wash shit away. Otherwise, I got to go in, man, and try to figure out, well, let me pull the peanuts out. Pull the peanuts out. Go find the peanuts, pull them out. No. He's making my job easy. Because the devil's head had a pure. See, yeah. Hey, I'm not going to. He's doing a good job, but I'm not going to take it and say, trying to get you to think that, man, we should be coloring shit. See? I I try to give you a deeper understanding of what's going on here. I was started about Jacob. I was started about Adam. It's been to somebody's wicked. See, the Jen had problem. Everybody had problem online because God keep telling, I know what you do not. So the thing is that you either you had to have Suleiman come, right, and try to pull the penis out of the shit, right? Or you have someone come and do it for him. A shit salesman. See? Because he said, man, well, these penis in here for him. He pulled the penis out for you. Because he loves shit. And all that shit clean. That's why it was easy for Moses and Exodus to say, those with the Lord. He had to go and say, oh man, let me go figure out who's with the Lord or not. No, he just said, and they came. See? So who was responsible for that separation? Farrakhan. Thank you, Farrakhan. Who was responsible for that separation? That was easy for Moses to say, who's with the Lord? Because they all, Levites came with him. Why? See? Because it's too different. See, you could have, like I said, if you put milk and water in a glass, right after a while, the milk will start to bomb and water in the top, so they'd be separated. But if you shake them up, they're all mixed up, right? So if you let it sit there, after a while, you can dip the water out because all the milk's on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So you take it's all mixed up with Elijah. See, they told Elijah, you can't separate him. So Elijah, it was mixed up with him. So somebody had to separate them. So when it says Suleiman shows up there, so that's what the Quran said, and lo, they're separated. I know you know what that meant, did you? So when he comes along, right, he make his job easy for him, because now they were separate. So now he can just gather them together. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, he'd have to do that job. So he said, okay, that shit salesman going there loves shit. Like flies, right? If you got a lot of shit laying around, one thing you do is get you a bunch of flies. You might like the flies, but after a while, that shit be gone. Then you have to get rid of flies. Ooh, that's a good analogy, ain't it? Yeah. He's doing a good job. His job is to separate the two. He's doing a good job in that. Because you look over there and you say, damn, this show stink over there. How come they're over there? Well, they must lack stink. Why flies swoop around that shit? Because anybody with Farrakhan's got to be a goddamn demon or a damn dummy. It's got to be, ain't no question about it. They can't find any screw to back that shit he says, nothing. They got to be a demon or a goddamn dummy, period. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. So you say, okay. Because all you got to do is ask them, okay, show me one scripture. That's $5,000 right there. Show me one scripture and Bible or Quran that backs up what you're saying. They can't. Well, they would collect that $5,000 a long time ago. And now he said, oh, nothing here made is perfect, it's beautiful. Is that beautiful? Let's look at this here. He said, God made that, right? That's according to him. That's what somebody say. So let me explain this. Who made that? Oh, that's sad. It ain't beautiful. I don't think they think it's beautiful either. That's beautiful. Would you want to be that? Tell me you want to be that? That's sad. So if God made that, he must be, why would he make something like that? That's miserable. You got a whole life like that? I made a joke out of it. I said, well, what if one of them says, I'm going to be a Christian. I was going to be a Muslim. Oh, wow, that's deep. According to Sunni and the Pope. One I'm going to hell, one I'm going to heaven. So how do you do that? How you work that one out? It's so goddamn stupid. It's so see, but they can't see it. Just like the point, you could take and talk about flowers and roses and everything else. A blind person just can't see it. They just can't see it. I don't know how you're talking about. They just can't see this. It's so stupid. And if you got eyes open, you could see it. But there's not many of your eyes open yet. But your eyes will open in a minute. Master Muhammad's going to put your eyes open, boy. You're going to whoop. Put my eyelids up. Some of you are going to go in shock because the light going to be too bright. That beautiful? He said God made that. You think they happy with that? They praising God? What about that? Is that beautiful? You say God made that. That's what he said. And they put it, it's only said too. Is that beautiful? Tell me. Why am I making a mistake there? Am I blind? They say God made that. So he didn't like them? He punished them? Lived their whole life like that? I said, they're two different brains, right? So one say, well, one say, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian. How does that work? How does it work? It's easy to blow up that bullshit they're saying. Is that beautiful? God made that. They call that mongoloid. They don't call it mongoloid anymore. They call it, what do you call it? Mentally challenged. I already explained it. How that came about. It's beautiful. Do you think they think that's beautiful? If they could recognize it. So this is God made in the womb. So what was he on crack then? Retirement was no. Having some fun with his lady. What was the problem? He got a lot of work anyway, don't he? But he's flesh. Oh, that's right. Farrakhan said not flesh. Oh, damn, I'm confused. So if he's not flesh, then I guess he can be in all these wombs, making all these babies. That means he's very busy. I mean, he's gonna be making the babies for the cows too, right? He's gonna make the whole and the pigs. Right? He's gonna make it right. He's got right. That's it. But he said, well, that's if it's not flesh. But they said, well, then sometimes he's flesh. So if it's Master Muhammad, oh, hey, Matt, you my daddy? Master Muhammad, you my daddy? This bullshit. So if you want to hang on to that bullshit, hang on. Like Muhammad said, you knew where to think properly. Because you can, like I said, anything they say, you can shut that shit down their throat in an instant. Oh, nothing happens without the will of Allah. No, okay. They question your ass. Right? They got your ass down, get more question your ass. They should be happy. Say, thank you, Allah. That's Allah's will. You in submission to Allah's will, right? Thank you, Allah, for them torturing me. I mean, is that right? I'm saying something wrong about that? See, if I was in Arabia, they want to cut my head off for saying that. Is that makes sense? It said nothing happens without the will of Allah. Nothing. So when you're over there and they shove a cruise missile up your ass, you say, thank you, Allah, for blowing my ass up. Thank you. I guess you throw a crown back at them. Bam! Because in 500 years, you haven't had, Sunnis haven't had one victory in 500 years. Because the Quran is for another season. Season is past. The season, I can't get this clear enough to over to you, brothers and sisters. Who's successful are the believers in that season. The believers in that season, those weren't successful. So, or you can tell nature's season by who's successful, put it that away. So if you make men shed blood, you're successful, that means you're in the winter season, because they're the ones to be successful, and we would not be. How would we be successful if we'd be tormented, afflicted, and in bondage? It wasn't our season. But our season would come after that, and then we'd be successful. That's what it says. But see, it's simple. It's too simple for me to explain. It's too simple. I mean, that's very simple, but you can't see it. It's right there. Only for a season. But while during the winter, they'll be successful. And we had to be in submission to them. They're winter people. It reminds me, when I was living in Chicago, I was there from 70 to 83. I was there when the messenger departed, right? And I used to run along the lake. I lived on the lake, right? And King Drive, I think it was, right? And I used to run. I don't run anymore because I'm 77 years old. Doctor, I'd have I burned my hips out. I put that away. Right. Well, we'll have to do something else for cardio. Anyway, I used to go out there, man. I'm in my 20s, right? Man, like it'd be 10 degrees, 5 degrees every day. Every morning I'm out there. Wouldn't put my toe in the water because I said, man, you do that, you ain't going nowhere. I just opened the door and that cold hit me. I got 5 layers of clothes on, right? Because I was in the military. When I was in the military, they hit me in Germany. They hit me the coldest spot. Hey, I'm not going to give you no advice on that. And so I'm wearing 2 or 3 layers of clothes, man. I'm about to look like a damn polar bear and a grizzly bear, all that. The white boy come running past me with a number of pair of shorts on a t-shirt. I said, damn. Are we the same? I'm not exaggerating. I said, damn. See? But anyway, understand, brothers and sisters. You want to hold on to the Quran, hold on to it. See? And while you at it, go find the book that Abraham had. What happened to that book? He was with God, right? He had to have a book. What happened to that book? Might as well get that one too. And get the one before him. And the one we 16,000 years into this cycle. So get the books that was real 10,000 years ago. The book that was given Yaqub. Did Yaqub have a book? That's a good question, ain't it? Oh yeah, he had a book. Anyway, everyone, brothers and sisters. That's beauty. See, they probably did platform. I mean, you saying ugly. Well, I ain't saying anything. I'm just asking you a question. You want your daughter to be like that? Okay. Right now, all these clowns out there, right? They're not talking about what's going on right now because they're afraid. They're cowards anyway. It's up Farrakhan, right? Put on this pad and show his ass. Armageddon has started. You know why? We had spelled Armageddon 3 years ago, right? And then all of a sudden, silence. You seen Armageddon? Well, it will be Armageddon. It's going to be triggered by what's going on right now. But yes, less than 6 months. We're in it, my brothers and sisters. Chapter 12. Let me move on. I'm chapter 12 of Revelations. Before I go there, but for those of you that might be thinking about studying, you study energy transition and transformation. I mean, it's all energy. It's all aspects of energy. Energy has a lot of aspects to it. Right? It's so many attributes. Right? It comes in the form of wavelengths and frequencies, amplitude. Right? That's force. It's also pressure. Pressure. Quality. Transition from energy from one form to another. Matter is energy. It's just another form. Everything is energy. Religion is just it's energy and how you manage it. And religion comes just how you manage energy. It's as simple as that. But then the complexity becomes, right? Because you can do so much with it. But it all comes down to energy. That's why for years, I just talk about energy in terms of pressure. Lately, I've been trying to explain to it in terms of wavelength frequency. It's there, but If you can't understand pressure, pressure is simpler to understand. Pressure and tension. Tension's the opposite of pressure. You know, why should I go? I can't get you to learn to add and subtract. Why am I going to talk about multiplication? What's the point? And there's still a lot of things I haven't talked to you about. Some things you just got to pick up when you get home, if you get home. But you haven't responded to Elijah. You didn't respond to the lessons. There's a lot of stuff in the lessons. In the lesson itself that you study that, you pick up certain things. Like the lessons tell you clearly, Master Muhammad knew about nuclear explosions when it wasn't even the conscience of America. It wasn't even the consciousness of America. Nobody even had an idea. Like in the early 30s, he was talking about splitting the atom, cracked atom. He talked about nuclear explosion. Now I'm paraphrasing. It basically says, right, this scientist, I think it's Zach Sharif or whatever, cracked the atom into what, 10 million parts? 10 million parts. That means he split the atom in 10 million parts. So he used the word cracked. He used the word split now. Okay, the same thing, right? Into 10 million parts. I believe he said 10 million parts. Okay, but the atom is force. That means you're dividing force into 10 million units. Like an explosion. That's explosion, isn't it? Isn't it? It's cracked. It's going all different directions, right? That's explosion, isn't it? And then he goes, takes it first. How much does a cracked atom weigh? I think it says cracked how much it weigh. I forget exactly how to say it. But the bottom line is, if you do anything about force and gravity, you know it's exactly the same thing. See? But you're out there and you can't, your head's stuck on the NFL and you can't spell it. You ask one of these clowns, how you spell NFL? And man, they want to fight you. Man, what you ask me a question like that for? Every time I'm watching the game, man. Tell me how you spell NFL. You think I'm exaggerating? Some people caught up in that. Most of the demons. But the demons some of us still caught up because they follow the example. That's why separate had to be complete. So that example be cut down. Because once you see an example and you see a result of it, unless you're totally stupid, you say, hey. Because you're going down the road, and see a car in front of you, runs to a wall, boom, you say, damn, there must be a wall out there. Unless you're stupid, you're going to keep on going out there and get it yourself. And you learn from that. I used to tell my children, I says, be smart. I said, learn from other people's experience. Look at your friends around you. See what they're doing. And see what they're doing and what the result of it. And so therefore, you can learn from their experience. You don't need people to learn from your experience. Learn from their experience. Be wise. This clown goes here, he gets a girl pregnant, and now they both out of school, and this and that, all the kind of stuff. You saw them do it. You gonna do the same damn thing? I got family members that's stupid. So well, I don't know what you want to say. Let me get alone. Anyway, learn from other people. They cannot tell you how Farrakhan's people are still doing something. That's a lie. Farrakhan's people is messed up over there. I got a daughter, she married 3 of those clowns. 3 of them. I tried to tell her, don't do it. She didn't listen to me. 3 of them. And all of them were full of shit. Abusers. Didn't take care of the children, didn't want to work. These Farrakhan's people. He's saying this himself. We play the video. I pray a lot of the worms at your ass. What's that all about? He said the Muslims, because you ain't doing anything. He cursed them out himself. But they so great over there. You follow Farrakhan, everything's so great, but he's condemning his own people. We got the video. I pray a lot of worms eat your ass. It's so sick. Anyway, brothers and sisters. The war's on. I've been telling 35 years, and this is it. But see, they don't speak because they don't know what to say about it. and everybody's on edge. But I'm telling you how it's going to end up. I already told you step by step up to you right now. Everything I told you step by step right now has been actually true. I told you there's going to be a pause from June, and about 6 months. That's what it was. It was quiet. All of a sudden, start back up again. I told you it would be a result of the abomination desolation, which is that genocide they called over in there. And I said, before that, I said, just before that, they'd be saying peace and safety, and that's exactly what they was doing. If you go back to September 2023, they were always everything safe to Abraham Accords and everything else. I said it, and then boom, the abomination desolation. They are talking about that. What abomination desolation? Look up desolation. What's the definition? It says uprising and would put down with great cruelty. I mean, how clear can that be? Uprising, that's what it was, right? Was put down with great cruelty. That's what it is. So-called genocide. And then that would trigger the war in heaven. Long time. I said, who would be between Iran with Syria? I said, Syria had to go down first. It says that's what it said in the fifth seal. Then once Syria went down, said Iran would go down, they attack Iran, and then they attack Syria. And once Syria went down, then that's when the war would begin. And who would be the actors, if you want to put that away, or who would be participants? America, Britain, false Israel. And that's exactly what's going on. The House of Sword is going to be on the side of America, Britain, and false Israel. And that's exactly what has happened. All this detail. This is not watch the weather stuff or stuff I told you after the fact. You go out there on my website and you see all those videos out there talking these things before they happen, not after, like Farrakhan. He knows everything after. I mean, shit. We don't need it, but you got YouTube. That's why there could be no excuse. So now it's starting. I said Iran's going to come at them like a whirlwind. That's exactly what, that's even, they've been using that term. They tearing their ass up. Iran's tearing their ass up over there. But it said it would be a war. It said war in heaven. So they'll fight. It won't be one knockout battle. It says Michael fought and the dragon, they fought. So it's a battle. That's the battle's going on now. But it says they will fail. Arabia, House of Sword, America, Britain, Foster will fail. They will fail. And America and Britain, all their forces will be thrown out of the Middle East. That's happening right now. They're fleeing the Middle East on fire, like I told you. They're hitting all their bases. I told you, they're leaving under fire once the ass will be on fire. What time I didn't tell you that? It's right there. It's on fire. They're getting out of here. America's getting the ass kicked. And the economy, now they're telling the economy, you know what's the gas price lately? Here, the gas went up 90 cents a gallon. So I don't know how much gallons I put in my car, but if I put 10 gallons in my car, that's $9 more than I was putting in before. I don't know, you got an SUV, what, 20 gallons? You pay $18 more for your gas. I mean, everybody's got SUVs now. And that's just the beginning. Because Iran's kicking ass over there. They said they would take over the Middle East. And they would make America been told, and the false Israel getting the ass kicked. And right now, they about to ban the false Israel because they're getting kicked out of here. And so the false Israel has no protection. All their so-called anti-aircraft bull is not working. And they're getting theirs tore up. And that's about, not you, maybe dead. I don't know. Don't care. Injil hasn't revealed that to me yet. And I don't think it doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I don't want him to die. But if he dies easy, I want to be around when they go on the siege. With father eating son, son eating father. See who gets to who first. Maybe they work on each other. Hey, Dad, I'll eat your arm. Okay, I'll eat your butt. Whatever. Oh, it's going to be it's madness. I mean, he's going to follow. Everybody's worried about economic. I told you it's going to be economic collapse worldwide. First over in Europe, followed by here. Now, Europeans getting upset. And they're saying right now, they're trying to find inroads to Russia because they've been cut off from oil in the Middle East. They can't get any from America, and Russia's the only source they got. And so that's what they're going to have. And eventually, they're going to have to ally with Russia in a minute because they say that economics is going to shut down within a week. In a week, 2 weeks is going to be universal economic. What's it already? I think someone said that gas prices in like the Midwest, like $3-4 a gallon, something. I warned you about all this, brother, sister. You see, this dog. How come Farrakhan ain't telling you about this? He's supposed to be the one leading you. He's supposed to lead you through the darkness. He's supposed to be telling you about this stuff. He ain't telling. He don't know, and no one's telling about this for me. Details, not watch the weather. Details. Man's kicking that down about how it's going. Somebody, oh, America can't win this war. No, America will not win the war, and it's not going to be a stalemate. They'll get their ass totally kicked out of the Middle East, and it's happening right now. They'll be totally, and forces are going to be surrounded, left under siege, cut off totally. Where they're going to be they'll be cut from water and food. They'll be drinking blood, eating flesh. You're going to witness that within a few days, brothers and sisters. Everything I told you is happening exactly like I told you. Everything I'm telling you right now, all you got to do is go back and look. I'm lying. Go back and look at all those things I'm telling you right now. I've been saying it for years. It's particularly in the last few years, particularly the last few months, particularly since 2020. About COVID. So I'm not looking for any files. I'm just telling you. Information's there. And that's my mission. They put information out. That's my mission. I accept it, so I'm doing it. Okay? But like let me explain it this way, bro, since I'm going to close. I don't understand this because, you know, mostly I see these black folks that go to college and stuff. They go to college to be a reporter, right? Car salesman, a motivator, a musician. Oh, yeah, you got to go into college to be scientists, mathematicians. But yet still, we're on reparation with our own land. Who's going to run it? James? Rick James? LeBron? His basketball? So I got to change those. You are the premier mathematicians. Okay? So if you understand us, then you see these things. You know, you need the angel to see most of these things. You see, in general, what's happening. That's where we are right now, brothers and sisters. And right now, what the problem is right now is that this economic system will collapse. And that's going to cause dramatic problems here in America, especially for you. Because that is what got you attracted. That's what the anchors hold you down. The so-called American dream was not a vision. If you ask Farrakhan, what's your vision? He said, people without a vision perish. What's your vision? He has none. American dream. But he tell you it's about to be destroyed. So how are you going to tell you this is about to be destroyed? But then what are you going to do? Oh, yeah, it's bad. Well, hell, we can see YouTube tell us it's bad. But yeah, we just believe in Allah. Is that the way it works? That we told Noah, oh, there's going to be a flood, just be Allah. Is that the way it works? Is that what we told Lot? Oh, man, we're gonna blow up Sodom and Gomorrah. Just hang in there. No, he said, get the hell out of there. See, when they come and tell you something, they give a solution. When they give you one, they give a solution. What's the solution, Farrakhan? The solution ain't believing in faith, believing in God. It's doing something. No, he had to build an ark. And they had to get the hell out of Sodom. Move their ass. See? And even the exorcist, let my people out of here. Plagues are coming. Get your ass out of there. But no, that's what he tells you. Just leave them alone, really. So what the hell we need Farrakhan for then? Why are you giving him money and paying him? And all of a sudden, when the darkness comes, since darkness, and you go to put a light on, he said, God told me don't put no batteries in here. God told me to be quiet. What the hell fuck need you for? You supposed to, and when the dark come on, we're supposed to come on and light the way. He said, no, the darkness is good for you. That's what he said today. Darkness is good. Then what the hell was putting batteries in you for? What was fueling you for? They can't answer that. He's supposed to be the bright light. So people said, darkness is a great light. He said, no, I ain't no light. They said, I ain't no light. He tells you, I ain't no light. He's too goddamn stupid to understand it. He's telling you, I ain't no light. Because God told him, shut me, he ain't no light. But if you shut up, if you tell Ventura, because Ventura shut up, then this dummy should be quiet too. Why Ishmael still talking? Let's move on, brothers and sisters. I got it. We're in it. Every day is good. You see, this is the problem right here. I'm going to leave it, let it go, brothers and sisters, but they said, and you need, I try to get you to understand, it says, by your seed, all nations be blessed. You look at the words, but you don't analyze the words. Like it says, on this rock I built my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. And you just look at it, and you assume that you think what it means. It sounds like it says one way, but when you break it down, it says that's just opposite. It says, if the gates of hell don't prevail, that means that the gates fail. If the gates fail, then the people that's locked in hell gets out. If the gates don't prevail, that means they fail. If they fail, then the people, because it's designed to keep the people in hell in. So if it fails, it says the gates of hell will not prevail, that means they will fail. That means that people in hell get out. What? And they get into the church. So Farrakhan, Farrakhan could fill the church up with demons, and that's exactly what he's done. But it sounded like saying one thing else, it sounds something else. And he said, by your seed, all nations be blessed. That means they're living off your energy. They got all your energy. That's why you're enslaved, because they're living off of you. But by doing so, they enslave themselves. They don't know it. I'm not going to leave it alone. I talked about it, but I don't think you understand it yet. And I need to, well, if I have time, it's part of the creative process. See, we're finishing off the creation. See, in other words, the first being set the creation for the expansion. And we live off that creation that being set up. So here it says, the Ancient of Days will have set up a kingdom that will take us back to contraction. If you set up here. I'm trying to give you hints. Well, I'm giving you information, but I haven't given you all of it yet of how that kingdom is set up. I gave you some information. I gave you a lot, but still some haven't held you yet. Right? And then that king is passed to Master Muhammad because he's a transition God. But that kingdom is set up. Master Muhammad does not set that kingdom up. It doesn't say that. He never said that. Anyway, let's move on, brothers and sisters. I'm going to close. One heaven. If you read this, occurred one heaven, Michael's angel of him, to the war of the dragon, and dragon war the angels of it. It means it's a battle for a battle. That's what's going on right now. But nobody told you that. That's happening right now, right? But they proved not strong, and it was thrown out. So they're going to lose the battle. See, everybody's talking about, I don't know who's going to win this thing. Nobody knows how it's going to win. I know how it's going to win, right? And it was thrown out. And then the accused of our brother was thrown down at the same time. It's Farrakhan. I'm going to leave it there, bro. Assalamu alaikum. Let me check something first, bro. Since I'm close. Okay, bro, it's I got a couple more minutes, so let's see what I got here. Okay, let me go back here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the creation process. So you have separate kingdoms going to last forever. When we say forever, it means until the universe totally contracted again. Okay? The universe is opens and closes. The Quran teaches that if you understand it. Opens and closes, opens and closes. You know, the devils, they're talking about the great bang, well, anyway. So the expansion, what we see right now is that the foundation that the first being laid out. There wasn't any gender then. There weren't any animals. There wasn't any trees. Right? There was this earth, and that being was in the center of the earth. Make her own a cream of the planet Earth. Didn't say create the earth. Make her own a cream of the planet Earth. Cream means rise from the bottom, from the top, in the center of the earth, and eventually rose to the surface of the earth. We actually live in the oceans for long periods of time. That's why you see a baby and an embryo, right? At some point in the embryo, they have gills. You know, check it out. Take my word for it. What they have? Because we lived in the oceans for a long time, and then we eventually moved to land after we put the sun up there. Okay? And then eventually, after about 6 trillion years, we divided into two genders. You know, then eventually, you know, at some point we had plant life and fish life and animal life and so forth, so on. And so our last, at the end of this process, we brought into existence, I won't say the last creation, but part of it, Adam. I mean, well, the Caucasians. That's why Quran calls it a beast that speaks to us, right? Because they're beasts, speaking beasts. Because they be what communicates between us and the beast. I'm just going to drop a few things out there, brothers. You know, like the original being, everything that you see out here, the Quran tells you all life came from one being. Trees, everything. So all those things that trees do, and bees do, and everything else, those functions, not exactly in that way, but the function, the things that they required was all in that being. And then eventually he brought small things out, and then they had responsibility to take care of that function. Plants had responsibility to take care of certain function, so forth, so on. So then the being became more distinct. Like what more form we are, but this wasn't the form we had in the beginning. Remember, there was a time there wasn't gender. The time we lived in the oceans. It's the form, it's our final form. And then at this point, we brought out the last phase of our creation, put that away. Then we brought out from us the devils, Caucasians. But they almost lack us. It got more complicated, I explained all this in the past. We became more complicated because, you know, the attention becomes greater and greater and greater, right? There's less. So we don't have to take and monitor and deal direct with the beasts. They do. They love dealing with dogs and beasts and carrying on. Okay? They're less. But our creation wasn't finished. But we said we want to raise up from angels to gods. So how do we do that? I should give a graphic, but I'm not going to take time to do it right now. But the thing is that the brain has two sides to it. Just like in gender, we had two sides to us. But we call them male and female. Both those was in that one being, right? The nature. So then you separate nature, and the dominant 9% of beauty went to the female, and 9% of strength went to the male. And she has about 10% of the strength that way because we communicate with each other. And we have about 10% of beauty, right? So and to us, to them, when you see a man and he's all muscle now, to them that's beauty. To us, man, we don't want to say that in women. They're all beautiful to me, right? Unless they got two heads. Hey, oh, I remember. I'm just talking because I got a little reprieve. I had something I had to do. But when I was a child, my father took me out. It was in Newark, right? I mean, New Jersey. Took me out to a friend's house out in the country, and things that's not weird or whatever, it just something goes through me. So I'm out there, and a lot of kids are playing, and so I hit a ball, and I picked the ball up, and I went to give it back to the child, and the boy, he didn't have any arms, and the arm, he had two arms, but he was born that way, and it looked like, how a worm looks at his arm, the tip, like two long worms. It was about as long as my elbow. And I went to give him, he put, oh man, I dropped the ball and ran, scared the hell out of me. I never seen anything like that in my life. And because anything that's out of, I have a problem with it. I can't deal with, no friendly males, the over friendly ones. I can't deal with all that. I have a natural aversion to it. I have a natural aversion to devils too. Right? Anyway, so this kid's about my age, right? So I stayed away from him, right? So I was I think it was at bathroom or something. I came back. He saw me. I didn't see him. He snuck up behind me. We beat him in his back. It was boom, boom, oh boy. When I looked around, I saw him, man, like I damn near heart attack. I ran across the street. Right there was a road. I was going to get hit by a car. I got away from him. But that's one of those things, For me, it has to be perfect. I never like bullshit. I don't like dealing with people, right? This bullshit, the Sunday, all this shit they talking this shit. I said, well, there's no logic to that. So I'm a perfectionist. I guess I have to be. I know the Son of Man's a perfectionist because he said he's going to give a perfect kingdom. He had to be a perfectionist to do that. Don't allow any flaws in it. In this case right here, so I said we had our creation. So like I said, you had two sides of the brain, analytical and spatial. It's like in the female heads, but when you separate it, then you made the female more beautiful than the original being. And the male was stronger than the original being because now, right? It's like you got a left, right hand, right? When you separate a person, right, and just with the right hand, their right hand they'd be stronger than you because all that strength, your left and right hand being that one hand, that person. You see what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So the thing is that that's what happens. That's where we do things. And so by separating the spatial and the analytical, now you got a God. But that's why I say B it is. The B is the spatial side. It is the technical side. So now you got a God. This is the B. He's all B. It's all is. So Master Farrakhan is super technical, more technical than any God before him. See, but he's low in the spatial. That's why it tells you that right in the Injil. It says the Lamb was able to do something no one, even the God, couldn't do. Make the Injil, which is spatial. Spatial. Okay? So now you got the Lamb. He would break the seals, and he'd come with a book that no one could figure out. That's why these clowns talking about the scripture, talking about Injil. They have no idea what to talk about. They should be talking. They're going to pay a heavy price for talking about something they don't know what the hell they're talking about because they got it all wrong. So only one can do it. That's how you know who that person is. And so super spatial, because you have to be super spatial. And then you got the God that's super technical. You got the will. So you have two major things in the last day. You have the Injil, which would be no one could figure out, but that's the final book. And then you got the technical. The God he's got this will that nobody can see, because now it's separated. So that's our final creation. But as far as them, right, their final was the devils. They're going to be the bridge between us and animals, so we don't have to deal with animals directly anymore. Right? And so we can speak to them, because remember, they're speaking beasts. So it's a beast that we can speak to and tell them what to do. We ain't got to surround and corral the animals. We got this, and they love us, so we tell them to do it, and they handle the beast. Okay? But another problem with that is that, like dogs, say dog, for instance, dogs don't resist you. But if you leave them out there wild and just run around wild, they will. They'll be tearing everything up and everything else. They're wild. But once you get them, lock them down and put a collar, they resist you. They don't resist you. They submit. They're humble. And that's with the devils. So devils. Okay, let me say this. And I need a time to really special deal with this subject. I'm gonna give you the highlights. Right. Okay. We're independent beings. Right. Okay. Where they came from us. They were born out of us. It's like a stripped down version, like you have a Lamborghini, and you strip it down, take all the accessories off. It's still Lamborghini, you just don't have accessories. So it's still an automobile. That's what they are. But we couldn't lead them like that because they'd always want to be sovereign and independent. That means there'd be resistance between us and them. And there won't be any resistance hereafter, regards everything being told submission to us. So to make this happen, we'd have to take that independence, sovereignty from them. So they'd be just like the dogs and everything, compliant. In other words, we'd own them. They wouldn't be independent anymore. So how do we do that? Okay, they had the form. So we want the form, but we don't want the resistance. I'm going to give you some highlights, brothers. We want the form, we don't want the resistance. We want a beast that speaks to it, we don't want the resistance. So what happens? We take and let them enslave us. That's part of it. Part of it was the enslavement. Remember, there's two sides of that. Enslavement and affliction. I think you got to study these things, brothers. The affliction part and the affliction part was the part that made some diamonds. But the servitude means they were taking our energy. And by taking energy, they were building themselves using our energy. That's how they build the empires, everything else off our energy. That means they belong to us because their descendants was produced from our energy. That means their descendants us. So therefore, we took the resistance away. That's the last creation. Assalamu alaikum.